Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Delaney. And today's video is going to be a 2025 fashion trends prediction videos. I did this last year and I thought it was so fun. You guys know I love doing trend videos and especially gearing up for the new year. I feel like it's really fun and exciting. I also want to preface this video by saying I know there's always like so much talk about trends, and for some people they really don't like the idea of trends or all of the media around trends and everything. I personally have always loved kind of researching trends and looking into them, being inspired by them, but of course trends are obviously so subjective. So if you are not into these trends, if you're not into trends in general, hopefully you didn't find this video because you're absolutely in the wrong place. But also for anyone who is watching this, who enjoys learning about the trends, whatever, there's no pressure ever to actually participate in trends or like them or buy them or anything. It's more so, in my mind, just a way to get inspired, to kind of have like a pulse on the fashion industry and things like that if you're into it. But literally goes without saying, it should, but I'll say it anyways. Wear whatever you want, wear whatever you like, wear whatever you feel good in. This is just kind of like a funny, silly, goofy thing that we have in our world, and I think it's fun to look into, so that's why I do these videos. And yeah, I think it's just a really good way to get inspired and know what's going on if you're into that and if you like it, and I just have fun with it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Also, as a sort of disclaimer, the places that I like to research these trends and learn about them is a lot of it is on social media, a lot of TikToks, Pinterest, other YouTube videos, Instagram. There's so much like information and inspiration on all of those places. Also through fashion magazines. I love reading the articles on the trends, seeing what's on the runway, everything like that. And of course, things that I see in real life, and also on like retailer websites, because the more I see those things, I'm like, oh, this is absolutely something I've seen a handful of times already. So I know there's a trend happening. So with all that aside, let's get into what I have found to be some of the top trends for 2025. Also, one more disclaimer I feel like I should say is trends are cyclical. Most of these things have been done before in other eras. Me and my grandma always talk about it. She's like, if I would have just kept some of these things that are trendy now, like you would love my so-and-so or whatever. So a lot of things with trends will never be like groundbreaking, but nevertheless, they are trending. Okay, one of the places that is really fun to research, like a larger report, I would say, on trends and everything every year is the Pinterest trend report. And I love reading this because I feel like Pinterest is such a great hub for this information and this data to see really what's trending, because all of the users on there generate all this information about what people are searching, what they're pinning, what they're into, and it's just like such a good pulse on a large number of people and a space that really is so inspirational, and I would also say is like a huge like tastemaker space, like where a lot of things kind of start and get their traction and everything. So I love reading the Pinterest report. I didn't include all of the trends on here because a lot of them are not necessarily as like fashion focused, but if you guys are into this sort of concept, definitely check it out. And one of the trends that they talked about on there that I've also seen on social media is this fisherman aesthetic. Okay, so the fisherman aesthetic is kind of like the grandpa aesthetic, but a little more nautical, but it's less literal maybe than like a sailor aesthetic. So a lot of stripes, a lot of cable knit sweaters. I think like the hunter boots and the rain boots kind of fit into this, that I've seen trending a lot over the past couple of months as well, and it's a really cute aesthetic. I really like this trend because I feel like it's comfortable, it's practical. I also like that it has this sort of like boyish or masculine flair to it, and this is gonna be like I said, the sweaters, vests, a lot of stripes, also kind of like utility feel, tactical, very like practical things, which I've also seen a lot of things about like tactical jackets trending. So these sort of like outdoorsy sportsman style jackets almost, and I feel like that kind of tailors into this fisherman aesthetic. I feel like on a very wearable level, this will be like the cable knit sweaters, if you're feeling the rain boots, or if you have a pair that you can pull out of your closet, something like that, layering with like scarves and beanies in this sort of like relaxed way, a little bit like English, I feel like the flare is too. Hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. I feel like it's a little bit Ralph Polo-ish too, but more laid back and more nautical than that and less like Western and uppity. Another one that I thought was really kind of interesting is I read about this in Cosmopolitan and they called it a ballet pink, I think. So I found this interesting when I was reading about it because when the Barbie movie happened, that sort of started this huge movement with Barbie pink. It was very electric, it was deep, it was powerful, and you guys obviously know what Barbie pink looks like. It packs a punch, right? It's kind of youthful, it's very feminine, but in like a, I don't know, just with like more of a punch, I would say. And this soft ballet pink is very different from that. So it's a little bit more mature, it's subdued, it's demure, and it's still really girly and feminine, but just in a much more subtle way. So I think that that is something I've definitely seen a ton of on social media. There is so many girls that like have dedicated their lives to the color pink, I feel like, and I love that for them. It's very like aesthetically pleasing and cutesy, and I really like it. I am not like the biggest pink person, but I do kind of think that I'm more into the soft ballet pink than other pinks. I do, for a fact, love a soft pink nail color, so I know that I get down with that. I think I can incorporate more like pink clothing, possibly. I feel like pink is just, it really depends on your skin tone and then like the color of the pink that you're wearing, and I'm not sure what my best pink is and if I like wearing it that much. So I don't know how much I'll participate in this trend, but I do love like the sort of ballet core that was happening a couple years ago, and then with activewear and everything, these sort of like Pilates princess ballet core. I really like it in that way. I think I could definitely incorporate it there, but I don't know how much I'll see it come to life for me personally in other ways. Okay, the next one I'm so excited to talk about because it is one of my personal favorite things to wear, and I feel like I've been talking about them for literally years, and they may have just been like building up steam and like starting to trend over the past couple of years. I feel like they've become even more sort of mainstream and accessible and wearable and everything, and that is hot pants or micro shorts, whatever you want to call them, but basically a super short short. So I love these. I wear them year round. I don't think that there's a season that they don't work. I honestly might wear them the most in the winter, which is kind of crazy, but fleece line tights are a beautiful thing that I've been introduced to. So I love me a micro short during the winter. I just think that they're so cute and they're so fun, and they just add like a little bit of pizzazz to an outfit that makes me really excited, and I like to wear them with heels, with boots. I never really wear them with flats or sneakers, but they're just a really fun item to kind of dress up a little bit if you're going on a vacation, if you're having a girls' night or going to a party or something. I don't know. I am so here for them. Some really good places to purchase them. My all-time favorite pair is from White Fox. I also have a couple of pairs from Revolve that are really good. I even got this really cute sparkly pair from Target this year, who, by the way, is absolutely stepping their game up. Okay, next let's talk about maximalism. So I feel like this has been trending for a couple of years as well, more so than minimalism, I would say. And there's a couple of different ways to like dissect this or look at it. I think of that trend of like experimental dressing, which was, I feel like we're still seeing it a lot, especially in like the younger generation and these really like cool girls or cool kids. They are so experimental with their dressing. They wear like dresses over pants and just piece all these different things together, and I think that it looks really cool. I think it's very creative and artistic, and it is kind of like over the top. There's so much layering, there's a lot of boldness, there's texture, and I feel like this overarching trend ties into a lot of other sort of smaller trends than that I've heard talked about a lot for 2025. So this Isabel Marant aesthetic or Isabel Marant girl, I feel like ties into that, which is just like a lot of accessories, a lot of layering, fringe, frills. There's kind of some Western influence to it. There's also some bohemian influence to it. So all of these things are kind of happening, I think, under this umbrella of maximalism. And, you know, I don't know how much I will do that in my personal styling either, now that I think about it. In general, I feel like I'm way more of a maximalist than a minimalist, especially with like home decor. I love more rather than like empty and less. But with clothes and fashion, I can go, I'm maybe like in the middle a bit on that. So I don't know how much I'll do with that, but I do love to see it. I'm very intrigued by it. So, and it's very much so happening. Okay, this next one is something I also read about on the Pinterest trend report, and I've seen it a lot on retailers. I've seen people talk about it on social media. I feel like there's a few different ways to label it, but I think coquette is the most common way that I've seen it. Okay, on Pinterest they were saying it was like from the late Baroque period, and there was a lot of opulence and definitely like hyper femininity, accentuating the female body. So like corsets, and which I still don't know if the right way to say that is corset or corset. I should go on Google and look that up. The way that it's spelled to me is corset. But I remember I said that once in a YouTube video years ago, and people were like, why is she saying that wrong? So, you know. It reminds me of Marie Antoinette a bit or something, and like a brand that does this really well is House of CB. So all these really beautiful feminine shapes that like accentuate the female body and the curves with like lace and frills and just super feminine, and also a little bit like regal and opulent, like they're saying kind of fancy. Also on the Pinterest report, I think it was referencing like weddings this year would have a lot to do with that, and I feel like this trend in general is maybe a bit tailored towards bridal and things, and maybe even like inspired by it. I don't know, but I actually really like it because I love a corset top. I think that they're so flattering and like a great night out top. I don't know like how over the top I'll go with all the frills and everything, but in general I think that this is kind of fun. Like the bloomer shorts, the little flouncy skirts, things like that will all tie into it, and I feel like there's definitely some really cute ways that I can like work this into my wardrobe. I'm thinking not so much winter. No, I have like a velvet top from House of CB that kind of is like that, so I feel like it transcends the seasons. Okay, the next one has to do particularly with pants, and it's gonna be wide leg pants, which I feel like everything that I watched about this or read on this was like skinny jeans have been like creeping around to come back for the past couple of years, and they haven't made like a full comeback, and people were like, praise, because they're not coming back this year either. Like it's not having its moment, which I feel like, you know, some people rock skinny jeans really well and they love them. I feel like they're definitely not my preferred. I like a baggy pant much more. I do think with like a boot, skinny jeans can be cute, but that's not what we're talking about anyways. So these pants, I feel like we have seen this trend like sort of coming about, and it's not just like wide leg, maybe exactly what you're thinking about when you initially hear that. It really has a lot to do with like volume and almost structure as well. So I think the biggest trend that we've seen come back over the past like year or maybe 2 years is the barrel jean, and I feel like this is right on the nose for what this wide leg trend is really hitting. So those have like volume in them, you know, they're not just like a baggy pant, they're literally like giving a little bit of structure and volume to the outfit with this more, I guess structured is the best word that I can think of, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? So I feel like that's coming out so much, and I've seen it sort of become more and more dramatic over the past couple of months. Like I feel like we kind of tiptoed into the barrel trend, and I've seen it just get bigger and bigger with more structure and more volume, and that sort of idea is just going to continue to grow, and the pants are going to be like wider and structured with more volume, and we're not gonna have to wear skinny jeans or see everyone wearing skinny jeans quite yet, but it probably at some point will come back. Also, some brands that I've seen do this, I recently saw a pair of EB denim. I don't even know if they were, I think they were barrel. They had a ton of volume, and I was like, I am obsessed with those. They look so cool. Also, I have barrel jeans from Abercrombie that are a little bit more tame and wearable, and I love those too. Okay, this one I feel like I've seen coming about for the past couple of maybe like year or two as well, and it's big bags instead of small bags. So there was definitely an era where micro bags were all the rage and they were just trending like crazy, and I have quite a few micro bags actually, and I really love them. I am definitely not going to stop wearing mine because I feel like they're such a good going out bag. Like, it just looks so cute with going out outfits. But as far as like a practical everyday bag or a daytime bag, they're not the best for that. So it only makes sense that these big bags would be coming back into style. They're super functional. I think they look really great with like daytime wear as well. I don't love them for a nighttime or going out look. I think I was reading about it on InStyle. They were saying that companies that traditionally have always made micro bags and are known for smaller bags have even started to make large oversized bags. So there's definitely like a shift happening. Although I don't think this deems small bags like out of style. I think it's almost just like a good thing that's happening, because it's like there's more shoppable bags that are bigger and more practical, and you probably already have like little micro bags from the past couple of years that you can use for going out bags, and our everyday bags will just be more wearable and usable and functional. Okay, the last one that I wanted to talk about is something that I read on the Pinterest trend report as well, and I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it was basically the concept of like matching or twinning, and they said that there was just like a huge rise in this, and I think they literally said verbatim, besties don't copy, they match. And I feel like I've seen that so much on social media in the past year or so, and it's just like a cute little kind of like buzzword or idea, I guess. And they said that this is going to translate with like matching with your friend or your family or couples or whatever, and coordinating and things like that. Like, you don't have to be wearing the exact same outfit, but I do think that it's like really cute and fun. So Clayton and I like to not necessarily like coordinate our outfits, but if we're like going to an event or something, like we'll kind of try to make it so it's not like, oh my god, these don't go together at all, because it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of cute and fun to match, and it makes really cute pictures. And also with friends, like whenever we go out with Samira and Aiden, I feel like me and Samira are always like texting each other and being like, okay, what are we gonna wear? And then our outfits kind of like, they go together, and sometimes they match more than others, but we always kind of try to like, I don't know, it's just cute, it's fun, it's like an inner child thing or something maybe. And I feel like if you're doing family photos, or obviously, you know, like you always kind of match in family photos, but now with social media and taking like casual photos, maybe not professional photos and everything, it's like cute to match with your kids or your spouse or your friend or whatever. So I kind of just liked reading about that. I thought it was like fun and inspiring and cutesy. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. I was thinking about doing a part 2 on this, maybe even a part 3. So my 2 ideas, one was to do a follow-up on things that weren't fashion, so like nail trends, hair trends, makeup trends, so kind of like beauty focused of 2025. Would we be into that? I just like love reading about these things, and I think that they're fun. And the other one is what's like out for 2025, which again, it doesn't really matter. Like if you're not into that, nobody's gonna tell you what to wear or what not to wear. But I do think it's kind of like fun and interesting to be like, this is out, like whatever. So let me know what you guys are into, and as always, I appreciate you being here and watching, and I'll see you next time.